Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have a few updates to share in regard to the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell cases, ongoing investigations, and so forth. So first, Maxwell reportedly had to sell her London home to pay her legal fees. So womp womp and thoughts and prayers for the trust fund baby socialite who is accused of really heinous crimes. Anyway, the next update involves a new accuser and a new lawsuit filed against Epstein's estate. The lawsuit was filed under the alias of Alice Poe, and this woman alleges that Epstein took her to his New York home and began sexually abusing her in 2003 when she was only 15 years old. Poe also alleges that Epstein used the guise of work in the modeling industry, which, is a common theme, and he used that to basically lure her in. It says in the lawsuit that she was, quote, young, vulnerable, and struggling financially at the time. So according to the alleged victim, the abuse continued for 15 years, all the way through 2018, though it was less frequent, according to the lawsuit, after 2010. And her suit states that Epstein subjected her to, quote, strangulation, slapping, beating, tormenting, abuse, insult, coercion, gaslighting, and physical injuries, and ongoing rape. So Poe is suing Epstein's estate for unspecified damages. So I'll keep you guys posted on that one. Next up is the new lawsuit, or recent lawsuit, I guess I should say, filed against Prince Andrew. If you haven't already heard, Virginia Roberts Giuffre has filed a lawsuit against Prince Andrew based on her allegations that she was forced by Epstein and Maxwell to have sex with the prince on multiple occasions when she was 17. So Giuffre claims that she feared that she would be physically harmed, possibly even murdered, if she refused Epstein and Maxwell's orders, and that's why she went along with everything. The two counts named against the prince are battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress. And Manhattan federal judge Lewis Kaplan set a hearing date for them of September 13th, which this will be via telephone conference, and it's not clear if Giuffre and Prince Andrew must attend or if it's just going to be their representatives. But in addition, London's Metropolitan Police Commissioner has asked their police department to review the case once again. And they're vowing to help U.S. authorities in any way they can. We'll see how that goes. However, the commissioner made a point to say, well, we're not opening an investigation into the prince. They're just revisiting the previous file that they had opened, I guess, or started on the entire thing. Now, the commissioner claims that the department looked into Giuffre's allegations twice in the past, and nothing came of it. So, I'm sure the royal family placed no pressure on them whatsoever. But anyway, Andrew continues to deny the allegations, but at the same time, he's still refusing to sit for an interview with U.S. authorities. And Giuffre has somewhat, seemingly, photographic evidence. I mean, she's shared that now infamous photo of the two of them in Ghislaine Maxwell's London home, I guess the one that she's now selling, with his arm around her waist when she was 17. And then there was also, if you guys remember, there was a statement given by one of Epstein's employees, which implicated him in some way. You may recall the employee told investigators that and I honestly can't remember if it was a male or a female. I believe it was a male, but this employee said that they walked into a room, they walked into like a living room area, and it was dark, and Epstein and Maxwell were in there at the time watching something on the television. And the employee said that they looked up at the screen and they saw someone who looked like Prince Andrew on a bed with a young girl in some state of undress. And then the employee said that before Maxwell and Epstein realized the employee was in the room, Maxwell made some comment, some joke to Epstein about, quote, Randy Andy. And then when they realized that the employee was in the room, they turned around and like shooed them out or shut it off or something like that. They, acted guilty. And as we all know, Epstein is reportedly had video cameras everywhere. He was recording in every room on all of his properties. In addition to all of that information, Gouffre, you may also recall, had sued Maxwell for defamation. That was back in 2015. That's where we got a lot of the information that I've shared with you over, the last year of statements that were made. Of these documents from these depositions related to that case have been coming out slowly. Well, apparently in that same year when she sued Maxwell, Prince Andrew sent an email to Maxwell and stated, quote, "Let me know when we can talk. Got some specific questions to ask you about Virginia Roberts." So that was her maiden name, Virginia Roberts. And Prince Andrew is trying to say now, oh, I have no recollection of her. I have no recollection of ever meeting her. Yet just 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was, he was sending an email to Maxwell saying he wanted to talk about her. That's a little odd. But Reuters also just reported that prosecutors consider Prince Andrew, that's US prosecutors, consider him to be a person of interest in the investigation. So, if Andrew is truly so innocent, and he's just horrified to find out that his once good friend is this serial pedophile and child sex trafficker, wouldn't he step up to help prosecutors? I mean, back in November of 2019, after Epstein was found dead, Prince Andrew said that, I'm willing to help the law enforcement with any of their investigations if required. So he's provided zero assistance or cooperation with them in anything. So I guess like the operative phrase in that statement was if required. So he's not going to do anything unless he is demanded and required to. You would think that, especially as the father of a female, that he would want to help Epstein's victims, regardless of whether he was required to or not. You would just think as a man, as a grown-ass man with a daughter, he would have compassion for what these girls experienced. I mean, how would he feel if that happened to his daughter? Would he be cool? I believe his daughter is probably in her teens now, or maybe even a little older. Would he be cool with grown men having sex with her as a teenager? Her being forced to have sex? Wouldn't he want to help to bring these people to justice if he has nothing to do with it? He could provide information, details that maybe he doesn't even realize he has, that could help in the prosecution against Maxwell. Her trial is coming up in November. Then again, he knows potentially what Maxwell has on him and what evidence she could use to save her own sorry ass. What an embarrassment for the royal family. Anyway, guys, as always, I will keep you posted on all of this. One other little tidbit. The prosecutors are trying to prevent the release of the names of alleged co-conspirators from Ghislaine Maxwell and her attorneys. I have to dig in more on why they're trying to do that. It wasn't really clear to me, but Ghislaine Maxwell is asking who these alleged co-conspirators are. Prosecutors are saying, no, we want to keep that under wraps. We want to keep that secret. So I'll find out more. I'll let you guys know as I discover it. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.